Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott MacKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk, and thank you for your continued support of an ever-expanding ecosystem of problem-solving professionals here on Industrial Talk. You are bold, brave, you dare greatly. You innovate, you collaborate, you solve problems. That's why we celebrate you on Industrial Talk. We are here at Fluke Reliability's Xcelerate 2024, Orlando, Florida. It's a mouthful, but if it's the user community, and I'm telling you, it's happening. It's happening as we speak, as you can tell by the buzz in the background. All right. He's been on the show before. He is spectacular.
Well, if you say so.
Chris is on in the hot seat. Let's get cracking.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
No complaints. Thank you for asking.
Sure.
You having a good conference? Meeting?
Yeah.
What do we call this? Is it a user meeting?
I would say it's a user conference.
User conference.
Yeah. So it's like
bigger than a meeting.
It's bigger than a meeting. I mean, like we're talking about a couple of hundred people here, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of training sessions, insight sessions, industry trend sessions, right? So then you get the chance to exchange here with like experts, dive deeper in your journey of connected reliability. And also like a Monday, like a pre-conference that also entailed a thought leadership day, bringing different industry leaders together and having like really vivid and really fruitful discussions.
That's good stuff.
It's really good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Before we get into your conversation, give us a little background on Chris and your where do you come from?
I mean, like obviously not from the West Coast, although I reside in San Diego. Originally, I'm from Germany. Started my career in reliability 2012 with a company called Proof Technic. Worked as condition monitoring engineer. After like 3 years, changed from like services to the sales side of life. Did key account management. 2019 moved over to the States. Worked as sales manager. Afterwards as enterprise account manager, and since half a year now as head of the America sales team.
There you have it. For clarification, so what we have here is we have Fluke Reliability, we have eMate, we have Proof Technic, and then we have some various other services. Tell us the role of Proof Technic.
Proof Technic, yeah. So, I mean, like Proof Technic, very well known by their laser shaft alignment systems, the Rotaline, Optaline, right? Pretty well known in the North American market. And also known for its high quality hardware, right, that Proof Technic was producing ever since. And also in the world of vibration, high-end vibration tools for diagnostic specialists, and like also like high quality online systems. So that's where Proof Technic is basically originally coming from, which kind of nicely match if you think about Fluke, right? Fluke is coming from that same history. So that's like the role of Proof Technic, I would say, is like in the field of data acquisition and correction, in the field of reliability. So if you think about, and you actually forgot our latest addition, right, from to our portfolio at Fluke Reliability, our new colleagues from Azima, DLI, that complements very, very well, while Proof Technic is like providing the high quality data. If you think about AI, you feed AI with data, right? And but the outcome of AI, like the output of it, is only as good as the data quality that you put into it. So it's like garbage in, garbage out. That's why it's such a nice addition to our portfolio.
Tell us, because you've got the diagnostic gear down pat, so from a vibration perspective. And if I understand Azima, that's pretty vibration centric, but it has 30 years of information that is in this data lake. Tell us how that Proof Technic and how do you marry it up?
Yeah. So if you think about what is like very, very special about the Azima data, as you mentioned it, it's really important because to really think about it, it's validated data. So if you think about the course of 30 years, so there's trillions of data points, but they have been analyzed by specialists, Cat 3, Cat 4, in various environments and verticals that have been challenging. So you have validated data, and that is worth gold. There is no one that has that amount of data that got validated already. I mean, there is thousands of algorithms, data centers full of data, but in the field of vibration, right, and maintenance and reliability, cross-checking data, verification, that is what sets that data set off and actually makes it such a great engine to feed and get output out of. And if you think about vibration, right, think about an online system, for example, right, that can feed data in any place. If you think about Azima, they were already set up in a cloud environment, have API Dockers, right? And that is where we can marry this in the future.
Yeah, and because of the proof technique solution, the diagnostic, you're optimizing that data too as well, and you're just constantly feeding that data lake with more information, with more detail. I heard a thing that's you've got over trillions and trillions of data points.
Yeah.
That just blows me away.
Yeah, and
that just blows me away.
The very, very nice thing is you can with that data lake, right, your algorithms and so on have a much higher hit rate.
Yeah.
And what you can do is you can, companies that have already experts, right, you can make them more efficient.
Oh yeah.
And they, instead of 8 assets that they could look at, right, because there's a lot of large data sets, suddenly they can do 58. If you further automate, they can do over 100. And it's you have to think about that, right? It means scalability is now not just a buzzword, it's reality. Standardization can happen faster for that. And if you think about the shortfall in skilled labor that we are seeing, right? And I mean the number is somewhere to be predicted in between 8 to 9 million, right, going forward. And if you think about that, how much time it took in the past to train analysts, and now you can just we can provide you those analysts through the Azima experts that are using that solution also to scale it fast for you. Or if you have experts, make them more efficient and can also scale for that. So that's something that was not possible beforehand for us as a company in that manner in the field of vibration. That gets me super excited.
See, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because it never stops evolving. And,
exactly.
The conversations that we had last year versus conversations we've had this year, completely different.
Yeah.
And it just speaks about the speed at which things change. And I heard some people talk about Industry 4.0. Got it, Industry 4.0. No, they're talking about Industry 5.0.
We are past 4, yeah.
Yeah, we're past. And that wasn't that long. And now we're looking at it this way. Where do you see it going? Where do you see this whole AI diagnostic capability going? Just put your future hat on.
You mean we are living in a field of robots and then there is no more human interaction?
No, I look at it this way. I look at it, how do we leverage this technology and this innovation in the world of asset management, this connected world. And it's just, you speak on Azima, and that is vibration-centric. Mm-hmm. But then there's all this other opportunity that exists out there that can take all that data, parse it out, and make me more efficient. That whole model, which you just described, can be applied across the board.
Yeah, so think about what is your big gain. For sure, downtime, most manufacturing companies report 100,000 an hour, depending on what industries we are talking. And if you think about that, that is the return on investment that everyone measures. But what is even more important, it's time. You're buying time, right?
Yeah.
So you're buying time, and now you can start focusing on tasks that are more meaningful, right? Tasks that you have not spent time on beforehand. And that is, I believe, a much more important gain than return on invest purely, because now you can start like, okay, I have this situation now under control, now I can keep going fixing other things. And that's like something, those efficiency gains, that is like what really stands out for me. And I believe if we drive that, think about something that I've seen in the industry also visiting customers. They had like those massive posters there. It's like, if you give us a referral for a good engineer that we can hire, we give you, dear employee, sorry for that, 5K. And I'm just like, can I give you referrals? Like, I want to have 5K. And it's like, people had a huge problem specifically during, but also after COVID, right? After the pandemic, suddenly like people wanted to change jobs. They were like, I don't want to do this anymore. And there is a certain retention risk, and for maintenance reliability, retention is like really crucial. What you're doing now is basically like, think about the younger generation of engineers that is now coming and pressing into the market. They don't want to do like those manual tasks anymore. They want to do like cool stuff, right? They want to be supported. Because like, think about like your private life. Companion, for example, AI.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, the Companion also helps me. Like, I'm having more free time because I'm using that. The younger generation is doing that since years already, like using all those bits to like just save time and focus on what matters to them, right? And that will be like the future, right? Just focus on what matters, have those helpers, and also being able to wear different hats. Not just being a narrow specialist, but like more in a wider sense, but being supported by accurate systems, right, that are going to help you.
You never disappoint. You bring out some really interesting I like that buying of time. And we don't take that into consideration when we look at investments. I don't think we do. I guess you can come up with a quantifiable amount. Yeah,
I mean, like, I just had a conversation with a customer the other day. They just started rolling out some online installations and just reported for the first 2 months like cost savings in like $500,000.
Wow.
And that is like something like really stands out to me, like it is like possible. And then like if you think about like, yeah, you can measure return on invest, but like what I really believe, that's not the only KPI we should like looking at.
See, I like that a lot. I really do, and I agree with you 100%. That's something that you can never get back. I don't know. It's something else. How do we get a hold of you? When somebody says, hey, I want to get a hold of Chris, what would be the best way to get a hold of you?
Just shoot me a message on like LinkedIn. Yeah, sure.
You're out on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
There you go. You're awesome.
Thank you, Scott.
I like that. All right, we're going to have all the contact information for Chris out on Industrial Talk. Reach out, connect, because it's all about education, collaboration, and innovation. Collaboration is key, so collaborate with some of the best in the business, and that is Chris, big time. All right, again, Fluke Reliability, we are broadcasting here on site. It's Xcelerate 2024 User Conference. We've established that it's a user conference now, just because of Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you very much for joining. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
Christian Silbernagel. Yes, he's a must connect. Absolutely must connect. Here's what I got out of the conversation, outside of the obvious. 1, time. So you use the AI Azima to be able to increase time. I know that sounds sort of odd, but it gives you more time to focus in on what needs to be repaired because you have high confidence in the data that is being used in the analysis. It makes complete sense. All right, you can tell I got a little raspy voice happening here, but we are here at Industrial Talk creating a platform. You have a podcast. If you just say, Scott, I have a podcast, contact me, put it out on Industrial Talk. 2, if you have technology and you're saying, Scott, I want greater visibility of that technology, come talk to me. Go out to Industrial Talk. If you want to be on the podcast, let me know. Go out to Industrial Talk. See? That's the process. Be bold, be brave, dare greatly. Hang out with Christian, change the world. We're going to have a great conversation.